Black with white stripes or white with black stripes? Classic question. When you're still just a tiny zebra embryo floating in mom's belly, your stripe pattern is set when some fancy little cells called melanocytes decide who gets melanin. The hairs that get it? Black. The ones that don't? White. So technically you're not black or white. You're both. Or neither. And by the way, under all that fancy fur, your skin? Yep, solid black. Stylish. But when you pop out, surprise, you're not black or white, you're brown. A soft, chocolatey beige with faint ghost stripes that haven't quite committed yet. Adorable, confused, very wobbly. Congratulations, you are now a baby zebra. That's zebra if you're American, and zebra if you want to sound posh or wrong. You're not exactly born into action. The world greets you with open grasslands, a blinding sun, and a mother who's already scanning the horizon for danger while licking amniotic goo off your face. Within 20 minutes, your legs, those ridiculous bendy straws, need to support your whole body because guess what? Lions don't send baby shower gifts. They send themselves. You wobble after anything that moves, which is not ideal, since most of the things that move would love to eat you. That's why mom immediately drags you away from the group. It's not rejection, it's bonding time. You spend the next day memorizing mom's unique smell, her stripe pattern, and her vibe. Because in this world of stripy clones, telling her apart from everyone else is your only lifeline. After a few days of this weird boot camp, you're allowed to rejoin the rest of the group. Exciting, right? And then you get there and realize every zebra looks exactly like your mom, but taller and louder. Welcome to the harem. No, not the romantic kind. This is your family group, a squad of adult females and their kids, all watched over by one very tired, very muscular stallion whose main job is kicking other stallions in the face and making more babies. That one on the left? Yep, that's dad. Or stepdad. Or possible dad. Nobody's really asking. Your harem is just one piece of a larger super herd of plain zebra, all blending together into a hypnotic, flickering sea of stripes. It's overwhelming, it's disorienting, and also kind of cozy. You wonder, maybe one day you'll stand out, be different, special. But then a younger foal comes up to sniff you, and they look exactly like you. Never mind. At just a few weeks old, you're feeling bolder. The world is still big and scary, but you've figured out the basics. Stick with mom, chew the green stuff, run only when everyone else runs. Seems simple enough, right? Until it isn't. One morning, the herd suddenly panics. Hooves thunder. Dust explodes. Everyone bolts. And you? You freeze. Your brain short circuits. Your legs forget they exist. You're a deer in the headlights, except you're a zebra in the savannah, and the headlights are hyenas. At your size, fighting is laughable. Running, pointless. So you just stare at your would-be murderers like you're trying to bluff your way out of a biology exam. Fortunately, adult zebras are tanks with stripes, and they show up just in time to body check the hyenas into retreat. Crisis averted. This time. Still trembling, you get your first real lesson. Panic doesn't save you, but sticking together might. Your childhood isn't long. In zebra years, it's practically a speed run. You don't go to school. You don't get a coming-of-age speech. You just eat, follow the crowd, and avoid anything with teeth. Do that well enough, and boom, 3 years later, you're officially a grown-up. Congrats? Now comes the fork in the road. If you're female, congrats again. A tournament is held in your honor, not like a parade. Think of it more like a very aggressive dating show. A bunch of testosterone-fueled stallions bite, kick, rear up, and scream at each other in an attempt to win the right to add you to their harem. Sometimes it's dramatic. Sometimes it's just loud. Sometimes the winner limps away with 3 new scars and a smug grin. Either way, you're now part of someone else's story. If you're male, yeah, about that. You didn't win. Welcome to the Bachelor Group TM. You and a bunch of other rejected young stallions hang out on the edge of the herd like a gang of emotionally stunted interns. No harem, no responsibility, just practice fights and the occasional delusional dream of someday leading your own stripe squad. And while all this social chaos is unfolding, your brain starts buzzing with bigger questions. Questions like, why do we all look like barcodes on legs? Theories swirl? Maybe it's camouflage? Cool. Except your habitat is a flat, open savanna with 0 trees. And you're not exactly stealthy. You're loud, alert, and basically a living siren. If camouflage was the goal, evolution took a left turn into jazzercise. Could the stripes confuse predators during a chase? Maybe. Some say they create optical illusions when you all bolt at once, like trying to catch a single zebra in a strobe light rave. Others think the stripes help repel biting flies, or regulate body temperature, or help individuals recognize each other. Truth is, scientists are still arguing about it. You just try not to trip over your own legs while pondering the mystery. Being an adult zebra means you're bigger, you're faster, and you now get to pretend you know what's going on. But deep down, you're still just a striped target waiting to be tested again. Because out here, adulthood isn't freedom. It's just a new phase of responsibility, hunger, and dodging lions. Welcome to the herd. Hope you're paying attention. The dry season hits, and that means one thing: migration time. You gather with tens of thousands of other zebras. It's not a casual stroll across the plains. It's a dusty, hoof-thundering, predator-attracting stampede towards survival. Lions, crocs, hyenas. Everyone's RSVP'd to the buffet, and guess who's on the menu? There's no time for childhood now. No gentle nudges from mom. You've got to keep up, keep moving, and not get trampled or eaten in the process. Fun. Luckily, you're built for this. Your hooves are tough enough to chew through gravel. Your frame is compact but muscular, designed for endurance, not speed. Hundreds of miles stand between you and green pastures, but you'll make it. Probably. At night, the herd doesn't stop. And lucky you get predator watch duty, thanks to your decent night vision. No pressure, just make sure no lions sneak in under the moonlight while everyone else naps. But you're not just surviving, you're useful. You're what scientists call a pioneer grazer. You mow down the tall, tough, nutrient-poor grasses, paving the way for picky grazers like wildebeest to enjoy the good stuff underneath. In return, you get to hide behind a wall of chunky, anxious meat. Call it symbiosis. Call it strategy. Either way, you're not at the front of the lunch line anymore. And as you graze, walk, graze, and dodge danger, your brain won't shut up. You keep thinking about your stripes. Yeah, those stripes. Everyone's got them, but what for? Camouflage? Unlikely. You're a walking barcode on an open yellow field. Confuse predators? Hey, maybe. Some say the flashing motion of dozens of striped bodies running in different directions makes it harder to pick a target. Sure, let's go with that. But then you remember something more convincing: the horseflies. See, studies show that biting flies find it harder to land on stripy animals. Your high contrast coat messes with their little bug eyes. Compared to horses, zebras get bitten way less. Finally, an actual evolutionary win. One morning, you're sipping from a watering hole dug out by some clever hoofwork. You glance down at your reflection. There you are. Black and white stripes, shimmering in the sunlight. A mane that's messy in that charming "I woke up like this" way. Muscles from miles of migration. Scars from near misses. You should feel proud, but you don't. You feel out of place. Everyone around you looks the same, eats the same, moves the same. Maybe it's the heat, or the horseflies finally getting to your brain, but suddenly a thought hits you. What if I don't belong here? What if you were never meant to be just another blur in the herd? What if you were meant for somewhere else? Somewhere quieter? Wilder? Higher? You stare at the horizon. A distant mountain range catches your eye. The others don't even notice. They're too busy grazing. But you feel it in your hooves. It's time. You don't say goodbye. You don't make a speech. You just turn and leave. After all, if everyone looks the same, maybe the only way to stand out is to leave the crowd behind. You head west, into the mountains. No more herds, no more crowds, no more being just another stripe in the blur. Just rocky cliffs, thin air, and a kind of solitude that makes your hooves echo louder than your thoughts. You stretch your neck a little, adjust your gait to tackle the steep terrain. Maybe smear some artistic dirt on your flanks. New elevation, new identity. Congratulations, you're now a mountain zebra. Life's slower here. The drama of herd politics? Gone. Predators? Fewer. Competitors? Scarce. It's peaceful. Maybe too peaceful. But you lean into it. One day, you meet a lone female. You flirt, stomp, toss some rocks around like a teenage show-off, and somehow, it works. She joins you. Then her old stallion shows up. You brace yourself. Is it duel time? Nope. He's tired. He gives you that good luck kid look and trots off without a fuss. You didn't even have to fight. Just like that, you have your own harem, and honestly, it feels good. You dig a watering hole with your hooves like it's second nature. You bond over mutual back scratching. You show off the strangely useful fat bulge on the back of your neck that helps keep your mane up. Functional fashion at its finest. Romance is weird like that. But then, the whispers come. You hear of another life. A place where zebras don't lead harems, they rule territories. No babysitting, no emotional baggage, just space, freedom, power. You bulk up. Paint on skinnier, more elegant stripes. Add a touch of mystery. You head northeast, chasing your next transformation. You've just become a Grevy's zebra. Here, there are no harems, no family units. You carve out land with your hooves and your attitude. Females roam in and out. You offer them water. They occasionally stay. Sometimes they bring their foals. Sometimes they leave you with them. And suddenly you realize you're running a zebra daycare with no emotional ROI. Even your grooming buddy, the tree, you start talking to it. It doesn't judge. You're a landlord, a water manager, a bouncer, a babysitter, and not even getting any grooming in return. One day, while reapplying your dust stripes and glaring at a wildebeest for stepping into your turf, you stop. You're tired. Not physically, emotionally. You walk away. You wash off the painted-on stripes. Let the wind mess up your mane. You make your way back to where it all started. The endless plains, the herds, the chaos, the real you. You rejoin the Bachelor Group. You sit down, sigh, and begin to tell your epic tale of self-discovery and reinvention. They're not impressed. Then one of them shrugs and says, "You know, your stripe pattern was always unique." You pause. All that effort, all the transformations, all the mountains climbed and territories marked. And it turns out, you were different all along. Every zebra is. Your stripe pattern, completely one of a kind. A barcode for your soul. You didn't have to run, didn't need to change. You just had to look a little closer. So now you stand in the sun, back on the plains. The herd thunders by, your mane flutters in the wind. You still don't quite fit in, and that's okay, because you finally know you were never meant to.